welcome to another episode of Tea with KSG. Okay. We've had a really good day today because today was our first day on site. Yes! For the World of Fear. It's very exciting. We started building the World of Fear today. So there's a lot of energy in the room.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we have also got a super duper special guest for today's episode.
I am.
Here he is. Ta-da! We have got the wonderful duo from ScareTrack joining us today, which you will be meeting them very, 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 very soon. Maybe we should let them in now. Should we let them in now?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Bring them in.
Go on, up you get. I'm not getting up.
I'm going to move my face out. How do I do this?
For context, a minute ago, he was like this in the corner of the screen, like not knowing what he was doing. Okay.
And here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Hey. They're here with.
Hey, hello.
Hear them. That's great. It's already going better.
How are you guys doing?
All good, thank you. How are you guys?
Good. Yeah, we are good.
Very
Thank
good.
you. We are really, really good. But enough about us. We're going to start talking about you guys.
Okay.
So, I mean, you guys, give us a little introduction about yourselves. What is ScareTrack? Who are you?
Okay. So we are ScareTrack. We're the UK's first podcast dedicated to the scare attraction and haunted house industry. So we basically visit as many scare attractions as we physically can. We will record an on-location review episode on the podcast. We'll accompany that with a scare cam mini vlog over on our YouTube. And we basically just try and explore scare attractions, haunted houses. We dip into theme parks a little bit and other attractions too. But yeah, just get scared and let everyone laugh at us while they're listening or watching, basically.
Bring them on for the ride.
Yeah.
I love it. That sounds like so much fun. That's so exciting. How did that all begin? Like, where did you guys decide that this was going to become a thing for you?
So it was a few years ago now, really.
I don't know how it happened.
It just
happened.
it kind of just happened. Like I'll be honest, I used to be terrified of even the idea of scare attractions.
No way, me too.
Like I wouldn't even go in the London dungeons. I'm like, why would you pay to be scared? What's wrong with you people? But
And then he met me.
I met my wife. And she is a horror film nerd, big style.
Yes.
And then we went through a few scare attractions and got the hook, got the buzz.
I think you did one before me.
Well, it was actually a friend of ours who wanted to start it, but only did a few episodes before he sort of disappeared upon the horizon. And I was like, well, I want to do this. No, he didn't die. Gosh, he didn't die. No, he just
Really
disappeared.
getting spooky.
Yeah, he's here somewhere. But yeah, so he sort of disappeared, and it was more the fact that I want to be able to take it on and try and elevate it that little bit more, because before it was purely just a few podcasts here and there. So
yeah,
we wanted
I don't think it was very fun back then.
and it wasn't fun until the wife got involved.
Love
so
it.
yeah, and then we started podcasting. A few years in, we started taking video into more consideration. Obviously social media, try and build those up, that sort of thing. And it's quite difficult with such a niche thing, especially when we're very, very busy in October. However, the rest of the year we're kind of trying to find stuff to do.
Yeah, you're preaching
so
to the choir.
It's a weird one, definitely. But yeah, that's kind of how it came, and the rest, they say, is history.
Love that.
How long have you guys been doing ScareTrack for?
So we sort of tried it a little bit in 2015, just for a little bit of a try.
In my memory, it was well earlier than that, but it's not.
Oh wow.
2015 was nearly 10 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, we're old now.
Oh,
We're old.
Jesus. 2015 is nearly 10 years ago. That's
Oh,
mad.
don't.
Yeah, I know, right? But then
Yeah.
I'd say it was 2016 when Hannah got involved on the channel. We took it forward as a duo, and then we obviously have some guest hosts that sort of dip in here and there as well to help us out, because we only have one car and England and the UK is far bigger than anyone realizes when it comes to Halloween. So yeah, we have a few sort of on location reviewers for us as well, but
Some
very
people
close.
down south. So
Yeah,
we don't
people
have to
down south, a
drive.
few up north, but only a few people that we know, that we trust. They know their stuff. We didn't want to just let any Tom, Dick, or Harry write our reviews, or
No.
review things for us. We want to make sure we're consistent, cohesive, and sort of singing from the same hymn sheet, really.
Yeah, I think we actually had a few of your guys at our event last year, didn't we?
Yeah, you had
They
UK
were
Haunted
absolutely awesome. I remember they came through the mazes and they were just so cool, and they were having the best time, and then had really great conversations with them throughout the event. So yeah, it was nice to meet the extended part of the team, actually.
yeah, and they're really cool as well.
Oh, I love having them on the team because Dan from UK Haunted is a film director, and he's done horror films and stuff. And it's like that perspective of it, that someone's not just going to go through and be like, oh, it was good, it was bad. Like actually look at it in a horror theatre kind of way. I love that.
Yeah. And talking about like horror experience and stuff, what is your favourite horror experience so far? And what is it that draws you to these kinds of things?
Ooh, favourite ever? That's hard.
It's really
There's
hard.
only one correct answer.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, if we had been to KSG, of course it would be that. But I feel that even just through video and social media, that's got to be in the top up there, God tier. But from ones I've physically sort of been to ourselves, we do have a soft spot for Europa Park in Germany. We first went there back in 2013, just on a holiday to their Horror Nights event. And it's just it's weird because they have a mixture of German input, British input, and American input into the event. And just these sort of all those ingredients to make a
American
fantastic
theming,
cocktail.
German ingenuity, and British scares.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I've heard only amazing things about Europa. It's meant to be just like the coolest place. So I'm not surprised that you said that. Yeah.
They've had some mazes over the years where they're just like, I'm just on the floor, just gone,
really,
just dropped to the floor, and that I'm a 6'1" bloke just crying like a little girl, basically. And that's Europa in a nutshell. Really.
And you say that there's footage of you crying on the floor like a little girl, right?
There's a few places, yeah.
Great.
Lockdown, it was in my house because my wife kept trying to scare me out of like cupboards that I didn't think humans could fit in. But
brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah. So, what kind of events do you guys target and go for? Like, what attracts you to them? Like, first up when you see them.
So it's mainly screen parks, isn't it?
I'm a sucker for a promo.
Ooh, okay.
Like scroll past and go, oh, what's that? And see like scare actors running around and stuff. I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah. It's all about the build up, isn't it? And you guys know that with KSG, it's all about the build up. So that gets you excited for that attraction, if that makes sense, because the intro, the promo, the advert is basically just the extension of the attraction itself. And some places in the past have gone even further, where you'd join a Facebook group and you were actually had to do tasks before you visited the attraction and things like that. It's got really deep. But the main thing that we do go to is a screen park like yourselves. It's nice to be able to have a variety of different attractions in one night, the atmosphere of the park, and
I love that anticipation as well.
Yeah.
Like you've booked a ticket, you're excited, like you're going with a group of friends, you're all talking about what mazes and then you go out and just have a great time.
Yeah. It is great.
That's what it's all about.
Definitely.
It's so much fun.
It's nice to mix it up. We've done like sleepovers at haunted attractions.
Not a fan of doing them on my own.
Absolutely not. No way.
I do it on mine either, actually.
We've done a few of them.
It's like I'm scared of being on my own, but it's more socially awkward for me.
Yeah. Again, preaching to the choir on that one, I think. That's why there's 3 of us on this. You'll live around the table right now.
I don't want this one time.
Oh, sorry.
We don't go anywhere without each other.
Absolutely not. We are the 3 musketeers through and through. What's been your favourite experience at an event, would you say?
So for me, I think it was...
Your mind's gone blank.
Your mind's gone blank. You have a think of yours. So one just specific moment that I can think of is when we were taken to a place called the Forbidden, and this was at Europa Park as well. And the Forbidden
I wouldn't
is
say that's my favourite.
no.
Oh.
Do you know why?
Because I'm on my own.
Because you're on your own at one point. But it wasn't the attraction itself, it was just the overall experience was kind of just like, wow, we're getting to do this. Like we were the Forbidden is basically a secret VIP club for the
that you can book a ticket
you
for.
you can book a ticket for, yeah. But yeah, it's that secret and VIP. They have a link.
Yeah.
But that's how they market it as such. But it's basically after the event, so you get scared, you go to the club, you dance a little bit, and then around 1 o'clock in the morning, you go to this private club where it's the whole scenario is very sort of underground, sexy, scary, very much sort of like you have to put your phone in an envelope. You're not allowed to take photos or videos.
I love it.
Yeah, it's that kind of club. And then you got to do the mazes alone, completely in the dark. You had like performers. A gymnast did the splits on my face, which was probably why this is a highlight. And
That explains it.
That explains it. What else? And then last year there was we were sort of buried alive in a special sort of coffin simulator thing. Well, just loads of random stuff just within this sort of only allowed like 20 people got to experience it that evening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was that for me was just one of those sort of like pinch myself like, wow, all this crazy stuff is happening and it's great. Yeah. What's yours then, Hannah?
Oh, I know, I'm still blank.
Still blank.
I've got so many things running through my head.
Go on, you can give us a couple.
That was so funny.
We'll let you have a few.
You know that it wasn't your favourite.
What's your favourite ever maze? Your favourite ever maze?
Of last year. Let's narrow it down. Of last year.
Last year. What's your favourite last year? Exorcism, surely.
Yeah, but people, it's controversy. People say it's not a maze.
It does.
That's okay. The question was experience, so it doesn't have to be.
Oh, I really enjoyed the Exorcism at Fear at Avon Valley last year.
Yeah,
because I didn't know what to expect. Like they'd done a whole promo thing, hadn't they? But still, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
and then we went in, and it was this incredible piece of theatre that absolutely blew me away. Like props were moving on the wall. Someone bunched out of the room. There was something that was on fire at one point. A Bible was on fire.
No way.
Yeah, we're all going to hell.
Yeah.
Oh God, us too. Don't worry. We'll race you there. Don't worry.
At least it'll be warm, and I'll know people. Do you know what I
mean? Exactly.
But no, I like that.
So obviously with scare attractions, there are lots of specific scares and types of mazes. What are some things that you guys love about mazes? So like, is it the jump scares? Is it do you know what I mean? Like, what are the things that you look when it happens in a maze? You're like, yes.
Yes. For me, I know this one, so I'm going to answer first. Right. But this is one of the ones I thought about. I love it when it's in the corner of your eye. Like,
yeah.
See that, or like someone walks past a door. And you're not going through that door, but they just walk past, and it's that eeriness. I love that.
It's a subtle scare. It doesn't necessarily make you jump, but it puts you on edge.
We did an attraction once. So it was like a zombie chase game, and it was in tunnels. And at one point, I'm in the tunnel, and it's pitch black, and like you can see the light out the other side of the tunnel, and someone they probably didn't even know they were scaring me.
No.
Terrified.
Yeah, that was in the Drakelow tunnels in Kidderminster, so they're like underground, like disused tunnels. That was really intense.
That's what I love.
Yeah, for me, I'm a sucker for a drop box because they get me every time.
I'm
awful. Get me every time. Like
I look to the floor.
Yeah, and because I love them as well. It's because they are a type of impact scare, but they are the type of scare that gets the biggest reaction from everyone in general as such. So they're the points that when you come out at the end and you reminisce about it with your friends, or we listen back to the audio,
and they go, "Did you hear Mikey scream?"
Yeah. So I'm a sucker for a drop box, but as regarding like the lots of different types of attractions as well, I'm a sucker for a clown maze.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's weird, like, because they've been around so long. They are everyone. has had one or it has one or whatever. But for me, I just, because it has that perfect amount usually of scare and funny, and you know, that's the whole point, you know, laughter
Nothing to
is
do with your thing for
contagious.
clowns.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Don't kink shame me on a podcast, Hannah.
No.
Well, what are you doing?
I mean,
yeah.
it is called Tea with KSG for a reason. So.
There we go. There we go.
Away.
Hannah's spilling the tea.
So we've talked about like what you guys think is the scariest stuff, but what is it, do you think, about scare mazes that people find so scary? Because obviously we all know they're just people with the lights off. Do you know, like, what is it that we think is behind that really makes people scared of them and has that anticipation around them?
I think it's the fear of the unknown.
Absolutely.
Like, it's like when we're born, we're only born with two fears, and it's falling and loud noises. And
I didn't know
let's
that.
be honest, in scare mazes, it's loud noises, and I mean, I fall over quite a bit in them. So do you know what I mean? Doubled up. So I think it's the fear of the unknown, the fact that it's again, like, although we go to lots, we still get scared, which is the main thing, you know. So the formula that these scare attractions are using, it obviously works. And then for someone in the general public who gets scared in a horror movie, purely because, like Hannah said, the things at the corner of your eye, the tension, the build up, the impact, it's like a horror film but in 5D, isn't it? You know, it's you're experiencing the horror film. So I think the fear of the unknown, loud noises. I mean,
and everyone likes getting scared.
Who doesn't? Well,
Yeah.
Not in the house. I do, but not in the house. We had a rule when we got married. You scare me as much as you want, just not in my own home.
You said once a year.
Scare me once a year.
Once a year.
That's it.
Once a year.
Once a year. No more than that.
Love it. Right, let's get personal. What are your biggest fears outside of scare events? What are your
sorry?
clowns. Yeah, what are the biggest fears outside of scare events? Let's move away from that. Let's just talk about you.
Okay.
What scares you, so we know for when you come.
We'll get right in there.
My biggest fear is probably knowing how much of a lack of a future I have.
No, because they're going to use it against us. My biggest fear is red wine.
That's a lie. I love red wine.
Me too. I'm petrified.
She just has to drink it so quick. She can't keep it on the shelf.
If there's a maze with red wine, I'm not going in.
I'm not doing it.
No way. In real life, for me, it used to be snakes. Like, I had a legit insane phobia of I couldn't watch The Jungle Book, and it's a cartoon. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my gosh,
it was that bad. If I saw a photo of a snake, I'd either have a panic attack.
There's so many good snake films.
I'm never watching a snake film.
You won't watch Jungle Cruise?
Oh no, that's a good film. I like that film.
I know, right?
I'm better than I was. Like, I've now, like, we at my place of work, we have an animal man come in, and he stayed late to try and give me like therapy. Bless him.
And I've
held a 9-foot python now.
It touched my
snake. I've held a snake, and I feel way better now.
You touched his snake.
Yeah, I bet you feel really good after touching his snake.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It changed my life. What's your real life scare? Like, what are you scared of in real life?
It's probably the same as scare mazes.
Go on.
Psychos with weapons.
Chainsaw.
Yes.
Chainsaws.
In fairness, like, considering again
things that can actually murder me. Dinosaurs.
Scared of dinosaurs. They're not real. They're not.
But they if there was a dinosaur now,
They could be. You know.
Well, let's be honest. No,
like I know.
That's just rational. Like, if there was a dinosaur here, I wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm fine with you, mate," because I'm not scared of him. Like, I'd still be dead and running.
He's got a point. He's got a point. That's fair.
And same with snakes, and they are real. They're here now. They could be anywhere. They come up through the toilets.
Jurassic Park gave me trauma. I don't know what you want to say.
Dinosaurs and snakes. So basically, we don't like scaly things. It would
So we'll do a reptile maze next year just for you guys.
That I can't wait. Can't wait. Oh no.
So funny.
Oh, that's great. Right, let's lighten up a little bit because I feel like that was
I'm a bit creeped out.
yeah, I'm scared. Might be a dinosaur coming in now.
Who knows?
So why do you love Halloween? What started it all off? So obviously you said you never used to like.
So I think I taped Hellraiser off the telly when I was like 6.
Nice.
Badass.
Bad parenting. That's all.
It's all right. I grew up watching like Saw and all sorts. I'm on the same level as you. Don't worry.
I do like Saw. I do like Saw.
Love it.
Yeah. They don't make us feel
Messed up.
old. Don't make us feel old. Saw still feels new. No, joking.
When Saw came out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not the first one. We're not that old. So I've lost train of thought now. I'm just thinking of Saw X. Can't wait to see it.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same.
Why
Got
am I
that.
talking about Saw?
What was the question?
I don't remember. Why
I
do you
don't
love
know.
Halloween?
Because
you said
Because you take Hellraiser. There we
and
go.
then you mentioned
go.
Saw.
Sorry.
Why do you love Halloween?
Because I love horror films and
That makes
scary
sense.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of boo baskets?
No. What's that?
Mike is going to get me a boo basket.
All I had the other day on TikTok was a million messages of everyone's TikToks about boo baskets and how
And
their
that's why I love Halloween.
husband needs to get them one. It's basically just a basket full of
Socks,
punk-
candles.
Oh, I feel like I've seen that actually. I think I
Just
saw
build
that
me a
last year.
basket of Halloween.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
given
I
to me
did
as
see
a
that.
gift for Halloween
That's why you love Halloween.
because I'm a Halloween
I
queen.
want a boo
Oh.
basket.
Yeah.
Boo box.
Boo basket's the reason I love Halloween.
We want boo
We want the
baskets.
Why are you asking me? I'm not getting you a boo
Because
basket.
he looked at me, so I thought I'd look
Get
at
your
you.
own boo basket. Sounds like Mike is making us all boo
I
baskets.
can't wait for my boo basket.
Anytime, guys.
It's the future.
Anytime. I suppose I'll save money if I buy in bulk.
Yeah, you will.
There we go.
I'm a size 5 for the socks.
For me, Halloween, I think it is. I mean, it's like when I went through my very first scare attraction, and I just became hooked. And it was as an adult, my first scare attraction was like Saw Alive at Thorpe Park. So that was obviously year round, so it was great. But then I was like, I've got to wait another how long until I can do another one of these mazes? And then Halloween comes, of course, they all pop up, and I think it's because both of us as well, we're from a theatre background. We quite like Artodian theatre, which is a little bit
Nice.
deep, sick, twisted.
Yeah.
Normal people, I promise. But yeah, we like sort of that dark sort of stuff, and because it's theatrical, it is basically just promenade theatre, a scare attraction.
Yes.
And it's just, I just appreciate it in that way. It's like I love going to the theatre to watch a show, but I can't do that every other night. Whereas in October, every other night I can go to a scare event, enjoy the show, and experience it. And you know, it's good because we get it from two sides. One side, I just love going for the scare, for the fun, for the smells, for the atmosphere. And then the other side of it, my other side of my brain is going, ooh, it smells good in here. That's a good light. I like that sound effect. Ooh, fog. You know, I get the sort of technical sort of side of it as well. So it's just great. I mean, we have no sleep, but we have decided to it's a really smart idea.
Yeah, sleep
when we're dead.
Yes.
That has been working a charm so far.
That was a really good answer. I shouted about boo boxes.
And I loved every second of it.
I am hooked on the boo basket. I will be Googling it when we leave.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of selfishly want to know a little bit more about like your theatre background, because we kind of touched on it anyway, over messaging and whatever. But do you want to talk about that a little bit, like your background in theatre and stuff?
Sure thing. So that's how we met. So we met at uni in 1990. So we met at uni, and we were just best friends throughout university, and we both went because best friends. Just wanted to.
We were just friends.
No, we were just friends. At stages throughout the 3 years. But we both wanted to be drama teachers. We both wanted to go into teaching and teach theatre. And we did sort of our main modules on physical theatre, and again quite Artodian theatre, that sort of stuff. And then we went into sort of the teaching. I was a TA for a little bit in a pupil referral unit, and
I realised that I'm not good with kids.
I basically realised a year after Hannah that I was like, oh my God, teenagers are the spawn of Satan. So we basically quit teaching and quit, that theatrical side of our life as such. But we just loved it. We love a whole range of things as well.
But we trained to teach it, not to do it. So if you throw the teaching out the window, what else is there?
Yeah,
exactly. But that's I think because we loved it when we were both at our own schools, then we went on to college to do it. It's just I think for me it's the escapism.
Absolutely.
It's being someone else, and we've telling stories, just being able to and giving other people emotions, whether it be happy, sad, it's just the whole the theatre shtick. But I think that's why we really enjoy scare attractions as well, as purely because it is sort of like an offcut of what we used to love and study.
I think there's a massive crossover. I think there's a huge crossover when it comes to theatre and the scare industry. I mean,
think that's what not that I wouldn't want to talk on anyone, but I think some places lack that connection between the two. That's definitely what we focus on, because all of us are theatre backgrounds, like that's where we started, so we know the acting side of it, so that's what we really focus on. Obviously the scares are there as well, but like we really focus on the actors and what they're doing and their scenes, and whereas a lot of the places you go to are just walkthroughs and and like drop and which is like, people love that's great, but for us it's definitely 100%. So it's really cool that you have
it's nice to have variety, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Variety in different types of performances, if they have a monologue, or if it's just a short line, or even if it is just one word, like as long as their character, providing their character would say that, it's like it's not just it's a why is the character scaring people in that way, and
usually
it's just deeper than I think some places do realize. And actors, they're the icing on the cake at the end of the day. If it were we can have animatronics, and if they're used correctly, great, and we have amazing sets, but we've been to places before which have literally been, you could argue, bin bags in a marquee, and it's been the best scares ever because the actors have made it incredible.
It's something that's like a massive core value of ours, I think. And I think I've like just light bulb moment and realized how important it actually is for me in this little group. Anyway, I didn't think I realized how important it is. I find that we have to like often remind ourselves that we've only got a certain amount of time for these actors to say what they need to say. But I often get carried away with it, and I'm like, oh, we could do this, and it's like, Molly, this is a scare attraction, not a theatre. Like, relax, let us take it back, let's get back to the scaring.
When we first started, back when we were in Westgate, our maze, we had like one maze, and it was like 45 minutes long. Like, and it was just scene, like it was basically just a walkthrough show. That's what we did. So where we've moved across to Kent Scareground and changed our kind of like ideas and stuff, we've tried to keep that, but also try to mix in, like you said, making it a balance between the two of like scenes and also just a quick fire jump, because people that love that, and they love that, so it's trying to balance the both.
I think it's not only enjoyable for the customers because like it's a variety and it's different, but it also catches them off guard, because someone could be in the middle of a monologue, drop scare, whoa, wasn't expecting that, someone was giving me Hamlet, like I didn't know that was coming. That's it, I'm gonna stop talking.
No, I like it. It's exactly right.
So you guys said you've been doing this since 2015, was it? Which is, as we said, nearly 10 years now. So what do you think has changed in the
industry?
Industry, that's the word I'm looking for. I just went blank. In the industry from then to now.
I feel like loads has changed, like since we first started. I think the industry's gone through phases to try and sort of catch up with the rest of the world a bit. I remember when smells were introduced, one year we just went, every maze smells amazing. one year someone had like popped up and been like, we do smells, and everyone had bought one.
I'll tell you who popped
Yeah.
up. Aroma Prime.
popped
Aroma
I think
Prime.
we were part of that. We were part of that.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Getting the cans arrive. And it's like, oh, musk. Oh, dead bodies.
Honestly, Aroma Prime, they sent us like a load of different mini testers of like all their horrible, disgusting smells.
Your
I
house smelled great.
I have the worst gag reflex anyway. Do you know what I mean? Of
me too.
nasty smells and
That wasn't
whatnot.
very
And I was
good,
like, honestly. And then the day after, my appendix nearly burst. I'm not saying it was their fault. I'm not saying it was their
I'm not
fault.
putting two and two together, but
But it stunk. But for me, over the years, yeah, like Hannah says, there's sort of trends that you see, like way back in like 2012 to 15 was very much zombies because Walking Dead, so everyone was doing zombies. Then sort of 2014 to 2018 was extreme.
Was hooded.
Yeah, hooded attractions like everywhere when hooded. But there's certain booms and whatnot. I'd say the most biggest thing that changes people's experiences was the lack of hands on shoulders now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys use the hands on shoulders
Not really.
Yeah,
but that used to be literally years ago.
The older you get, you can't do this.
Yeah.
No.
It's I understood why they did it. They did it to try and keep groups together. They do it so people don't try and lash out and things like that. But that was a fair few years ago now, where there weren't as many scare attractions around. People may not have known exactly what they were, whereas I feel we're getting there now with people knowing what they are. They may have experienced a few of them, so they don't quite need to be as spoon-fed as they used to. So, you know, and then attractions used to be very like linear, because you'd have to, because you put your hands on the shoulders, you follow that person, you go through it, and you arrive together and you leave together. And then, you know, around the sort of 2014, 2015 mark, there were some attractions that would split you up, and like, oh my God, like people didn't realize that would ever happen in an attraction. And then, like I say, that
free flow attractions was like a new thing.
Free flow attractions
one year.
Could totally get lost in a maze and stuff like that. And then, like I said before, like there was a boom of extreme attractions, so people taking it to the limit. You know, I've been buried alive, waterboarded, taken to an unknown location, gagged, bagged, and tagged, and in a random warehouse in the middle of nowhere. Like,
right,
by a
clown.
With a snake.
By a clown, I'd still be there. I wouldn't have come out. So yeah, there's definitely trends, definitely things that change. But for me, the one that sticks in my head is literally the hands on shoulders thing. That it's just not much of a thing anymore, and I'm glad for it.
So great to get your perspective on that, because that's something I would never have even like thought
we've
of.
We've never done it. I don't think we've ever done it, have we? No.
I don't want to get into trends. I find like that's just why
You
just
want to
do
be
what else to do
different,
when you can
unique.
just do something new? Or try and do something new. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to ask you some quick fire questions now, just some fun little questions, and just give us the answer that comes to the top of your head. Okay, question number 1: favorite horror movie? Go.
Saw.
X.
Nice.
What's X?
I like that.
Oh, okay.
No, not Saw X. There's a horror film called X.
Oh.
I'll have to watch it. Favorite Halloween costume?
Clown.
I did Beetlejuice last year. I liked that.
Nice.
That was sexy Beetlejuice.
It was sexy Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
What do we prefer, ghosts or zombies?
Ghosts.
Zombies.
But I don't believe in ghosts, but ghosts.
Oh, interesting. Controversial.
Controversial. Scariest place you've ever been to for a review?
Oh, you know what? You reminded me earlier, the Draco tunnels, the underground tunnels.
That or Project Fear.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah.
I think underground tunnels would scare me.
Yeah, that would scare me enough.
I'm just scared of everything, so yeah, probably would scare me too. Favorite classic horror monster?
Vampire.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Nice.
vampires. Yeah.
Werewolves or mummies?
Ooh. Werewolves.
Mummies. I don't like the smell of wet dog.
Yeah,
That's valid. That is
a very
valid.
valid.
They think. One horror movie you could watch on repeat forever.
Devil's Rejects.
Does Hocus Pocus count?
No.
Yeah, it does.
It
Well,
does count. It
really,
definitely counts.
interestingly, we
Hang
had
on.
a debate about this last week.
The question is horror movies. So,
But it-
in Molly's opinion, no, Hocus Pocus doesn't count.
In my opinion, no.
Because Molly thinks it's a
PG
not
horror.
a horror movie.
It's a Disney film, isn't it?
We'll
That
have to do some
scary.
research. Does it say
Walking
horror in
Dead's
it?
on Disney Plus.
Doesn't
Yeah, but
have
it's not a Disney film, is it?
It's also not a film. Come on, James. Can you listen to the
I
question,
was just-
please?
You like Saw?
Yeah, I'd have to be boring and say Saw again.
Hey, nothing boring about that. I would say
I
that.
love the Saw franchise, but my actual like considering I've done over 500 scare attractions, I've probably only watched about 12 horror movies. So, like,
I've watched less.
that's terrible.
I'm terrible for watching horror films. I
And you
haven't
like-
got the attention span.
You can't,
It has to be daylight
you
outside.
can't watch a horror movie in the dark.
Yeah.
You have to watch it in the
Daytime.
dark.
And then I have to put something nice on afterwards, like Sooty or something. Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
the exact same.
Because I can't go to sleep. She made me watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, okay, so what's it about? She goes,
You're
oh,
so
it's about a guy that he kills you in your dreams. That's the most horrifying sentence I've ever heard in my life. Why do you want me to watch that before we go to bed? Normally, I'd get to sleep to get away from the horrors of life, but no, you have to go to sleep for him to kill you. I don't dream anyway. Why would I want to dream about that? Sorry.
That's horrifying. That is horrifying.
Why?
I'm the exact same, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, last question. If you were a horror movie villain, what would be your signature scare tactic?
Oh,
I would
okay.
make all the wine disappear. Horrifying.
Very clever. My like a tactic is in like what, like how I'd kill people, or what it would be.
Whatever that means to you, I guess. Whatever comes to mind.
I think. Oh, I don't. No, because if I say it, I might get sectioned. But
Go on.
I'd like if it was a horror
Say
film.
it, they might do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just looking for inspiration,
I'd-
really.
If it was like a horror movie, I like again, I like Saw, so it'd probably be a sick and twisted sort of whole room, like they have to do stuff, but like I don't want to
You
just
wanna
get.
play with your victims.
I want to play with my victims. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, legal reasons, in just a killing way,
In a hyper-
Legal
like,
reasons.
In just-
murder way.
Like that makes it better.
You're not allowed. Yeah, killing people's okay. That doesn't get you on a register. But yeah, I'd probably like take you into. It'd be like a Jeffrey Dahmer sort of thing, like lure them in somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, this room looks cool," because you know you'd have all cool lights and all that, and then you push a button, and everything changes.
Oh, very nice.
Someone's
That
thought
makes it
about
better.
this.
Sounds like you have thought about this one.
Someone that doesn't dream.
You haven't seen our bedroom.
After this podcast, I definitely don't. It's probably got some weird stuff in it.
Just describing what happens on a Sunday at ScareTrack.
Some clown costume, something weird. Anyway, so that's all the questions we have for you. Do you have any questions for us?
I'm scared.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, I know you guys made the move. It was a few years ago now, wasn't it? And you sort of like rebranded, and what made you sort of? How difficult was it to make that change into a different sort of formula, different sort of, not different market as such, but you're basically one thing that you're known for and good at, and then you've gone and done something new, bigger, a bigger task, that sort of thing. How sort of hard was that cross changeover really?
So I think for us, the first hurdle was definitely a location, finding that location. Because originally we went with a showground in Detling, but then that never went through. So that was definitely a big
We
hurdle
had
for us
COVID.
to cross. Yeah, we had COVID as well during that changeover. So that was a big
Mm.
thing to tackle. But yeah, that was definitely the first like thing that once we got on the location, I feel like we all felt a lot more confident and more ready
Yeah.
to take on this bigger event.
Our next hurdle after that was definitely being out in the elements, because we had a building. We'd only ever done it inside, whereas this time we were building out in the open, and it's very open, very windy, and it rained a lot, and we had all those problems. And also, like our tech wasn't amazing. It wasn't great.
Yeah, because we
yeah.
obviously had to you know, make a light come on in a field with nothing. So like, how do we don't, you know, we are now, but we wasn't at the time very tech orientated. We didn't know how to like make a light work just from the wires, but we had to teach ourselves, develop that, and I think the best part that we found with moving is having all this space just completely opened up new possibilities and opportunities for us to have extra mazes, do more things, like have a woods, have chainsaws, because obviously in the building we were in we couldn't have power tools that had like fumes coming out, because obviously you're in a closed space, so it just opened the playing field really. But yeah, it's definitely been a change to go from such a small time slot event to now this big free flow, come when you want, leave when you want, to deal with queue times. Like, it's definitely our first year we learned a lot of very important lessons that we never would have learned until we did our first year. Like things that you wouldn't even know to think about, like lighting, like queue time. Like, there's things that you just don't even think about until you're stood on a live night and there's people and they're saying they've been in a queue for like ages, and you're like, how is there even this many people here? Because we just have never even seen that many people in our event before. It would always just been like, you know, way under 100 people, maybe even under 50 people for like the whole event really. So we were like completely throwing ourselves in at the deep end with that.
I think from an individual basis as well, like people have learned a lot. Like what comes to mind for me when you were talking about tech was like Charlotte, for example, our event manager, she's learned a shed load about like coding and tech and all of like these. I literally couldn't even imagine knowing anything about it. Like,
I do think that the business has given us a lot of very obscure life skills. So like, for example, with Charlotte, like now she knows what an Arduino board is. Like, what even is that?
I don't even know what that means.
I know what that is because I now know how to put a light on. Yeah, exactly. Or like I know how to make a wall from scratch. I know how to carpet. Like, it's just random things that you get to learn because of this just random niche business that we've got, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
definitely, and something to be proud of as well.
100%.
And being fully self-funded came with its challenges too, because you know we've
always
out
been
for building materials, and you know buying the tech things is obviously expensive, and then obviously paying our actors. There's so many, and we had more actors than we'd ever had before, so like being fully self-funded definitely has it going
as we speak.
But the fridge is empty. There's nothing in there. Our scare event is going to be sick. There's lights.
You're all completely famished, but it'd be awesome. Yeah, fair play. I suppose it's just those. It's all those things that you give up for something that you're passionate about, isn't it?
100%.
You
know?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have any more questions for us? Now's the time to pick our brain if you would like.
One is, why are you so far away from us? Because that's just rude.
Rude, isn't it?
It's just rude to be so far away. But no. So where does the sort of process start? Like you said earlier, you don't like to follow trends and things like that. So it's not like you could, like some places, like I say, had a zombie trend or they had an extreme route trend and things like that. Where do your sort of ideas come from to create your attractions, scares, things like that? Crazy.
No, so I guess the process, it kind of just starts with the creative team. So that's me, Molly, James, Fraser, Charlotte. We sit down and we just throw out these ideas, and there are certain ideas that we've had for years and years and years that we would love to do, but we're just waiting for the right time to do them. Like, we've got so many, not necessarily original, because I know like places have done crazy stuff and I'm sure there's been somewhere that's done it, but things that we've not seen at any events we've been to or seen online that we want to do, that we're just waiting for the right time where we're going to be able to do it to the correct scope that we want to do it to. But it all just starts from spitballing from each other, thinking about things we've done before and how if we could redo them and change them and make them better. And it literally just comes from us sitting down for about 8 hours and just throwing ideas and then spitballing on those ideas and then developing them and then choosing which ones we want to do this year and which ones we're going to save for next year or a few years time, or like what's the plan for, do we want to carry the story on, do we want to develop that, do we want to follow that, do we want to completely just lose that come back to it in a few years and try again, or like what that kind of looks like.
Yeah. I think as well, like we have like little Easter eggs, like you were talking about, like following stories on and stuff. We're very, like we said earlier about like the acting side of it, we're also very like backstory and story orientated. Like we don't do anything without any sort of like justification behind it, because like what's the point?
So if you look back through a lot of our backstories and stuff, and now you'll see a lot of the Easter eggs that Molly's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's sometimes making that decision whether we think that we've done it enough and we don't want to just tread that fine line of doing it too much. Like we've done enough of this thing now, we've Easter egged it here and there, now it's time to maybe just like let it go and think of something new, or we will just add like tiny little bits here and there. And I think that's really exciting. It's really fun, isn't it?
I also find that we have this meeting and we come up with all of our ideas and themes and stuff, and then we finalize those, and then we bring in everybody and talk about like, how far can we take it? Like, what is the dream that you'd love to do? Like, and then how can we achieve that? Is it achievable? How do we achieve that? Is it legal? Is it safe? All of these different things, and we come up with these like amazing ideas, and then we have to go, right, now how do we actually do that? Which then proves the troubles, and we have to, you know, trial and error and all these different things to make it work.
And also, what can we actually afford to spend money out and make happen? Because we haven't just got one maze now. We haven't got one or two, we've got 4. So
now we've got to like divide our attention to all of them, not just come up with this amazing idea and then just neglect all the other ones. You've got to give them all. Which
they've all got to have the same sort of TLC, haven't they?
Absolutely, because we want it all to be as equal as possible. I think we definitely start off with like this big like Disney idea of what we want the event to be, and then slowly like we funnel it down into like the realistics of it, and we're like, we'd love to like electrocute everybody in the park at the same time, but can we do that? I don't know if we can do that. Like, it's
good. I don't think you can.
I don't think so. I mean,
just you right.
You can try. I'm not a fan of electric.
I
don't know, me neither.
We're
Timothy Skirk on this year where we all went and we all tried the electric chair.
I
literally sat down for all of 1 second. One of our team members literally sat there and did the entire thing on every single level, it wasn't even anything.
I can't even do those little pens that you click and they like little.
Neither can I. I can't. I hate it. I hate being like anything electric. Or anything like that.
Us too.
You get those random games at Christmas in like Hawkins Bazaar, and then your crazy auntie thinks it's funny to buy the family a game where you put your finger in and it electrocutes you.
Absolutely not.
No, thank you.
Absolutely not.
What's funny about that?
First time we'd ever seen electric shocks in a maze was when we went to Aftershock when it was at Hallow Scream, York's Hallow Scream.
I was too scared.
That was the first time, and we went in it, and I absolutely hated the electric shock, and I was like, "We're not doing that ever. We're not doing that. I will not be a part of that."
I love how triggered everyone's just gone.
I hate it.
I hate it.
Sometimes Dad goes, "Oh, we can electrocute," and then we go, "No,"
because I have to walk through it because I've got to tell the actors what they're doing, and I don't want to have to touch the electric thing.
No,
I know it's going to electrocute me, so I definitely don't want to touch it. No,
absolutely
not for me.
Absolutely not. Have you got any more questions you want to throw our way?
I want to know who the person is that says no to things, because I'm like you say, oh, you want this whole Disney sort of thing, you want to do this, I want to do that. Who's the person that's actually got like that says that sounds good on paper, but in real,
I think the word no doesn't really exist for us. We just try until it's like realistically.
Yeah,
we can't.
If I was to answer the question, I would have said that it would probably come from Dad being, no, we can't. Cost build wise,
because Dad deals with the construction, so he deals with the construction and like the money side of things. So he'll either say no from a construction point of view of no, we can't do that because I'm not going to be able to create something like that, or no, we can't afford that. It'll either be Dad or Charlotte in a way of no, that doesn't make sense, or no, that's not going to fit the theme, or like how would we even like, so it'd be one of those, probably most likely Dad,
and then
secondly Charlotte.
But it doesn't happen
very often
straight away anyway, because as
they,
well, like this
want to make it
usually
real,
even though dad's the one who says no, usually it's dad that comes up with the idea.
the idea anyway
out there that you think,
and we'll have a
how
shark.
and then the sky, we fly them all the way. No, literally, like it's dad that does it. He does it to himself, and then he moans that he's got to build it. You came up with it.
You thought of it. I think because it's like this is also like obviously family run and like passion led. Like first it's like a love for scare, a love for horror. We love doing this together, and then we're like, oh wait, no, we actually have to make it work. Hang on a minute.
It's actually it has to be safe. It has to work.
We say dad, but actually a lot of the time I feel like it's
probably us going.
Us watering dad down saying, I don't know if that's actually allowed. That sounds
legal.
Like, that sounds like we could be in some trouble.
Sounds like a human rights case, like waiting to happen.
You make sure you got really good insurance because dad's trying to kill people in the back.
Dad's on one.
Oh, nice.
Any other questions?
I think that's it really. Apart from here's what. So I've noticed over the years that because there's so many attractions now, like when we first started there was a handful, it was easy to get around to a nice handful of them. Now there's so many, which is great. It just really does mean that we're catching up the Americans basically when it comes to Halloween, and that's part of the reason why we do the podcast. We have about 20% of our listeners in America, about 10% in Germany and whatnot, because you want to show that the UK, we know our shit, like we know what we're doing. But it's because there are so many, acting wise, have you found over the years it's been harder to get actors? Just because I know a few places I mean a lot of places are lucky they have their core teams that have been with them since day one. I know there's a handful of attractions where people will go every single year, but I know some of the bigger parks, more of the like the Merlin parks and things like that, the big farm parks, they struggle to get that many actors in.
I think
is that something that you guys had trouble with?
I feel like it's probably the easiest for us.
It's probably the easiest part of our
than it's ever been, because
100%.
where we
I feel
were
like year by year it just gets easier. Like
and
year one we were small and it was just like no one knew, so it was like we were begging people like, come on, you want to audition, you want to audition.
It'll be fun, come on.
Now we're able to actually sit back and just have the applications fly in. Like this year
was so crazy. It was so exciting. A little honest moment for us. It was so exciting. Every time a form came in, we were all like,
well, we also do have our core members now. We have been with us from
very tight. We have that just come back year on year. We
have people that have been with us since when we were still Madhouse, and we have our OGs from KSG that come back every single year, and they're messaging us constantly.
When are we back? When are we back? When's content going? When are we? But I find that interesting that you say that they struggle to find actors, because from our point of view, 100%. Every year it seems to just get easier and easier.
We definitely have the family value thing more.
Yeah, people do enjoy that, because obviously with a job feels like a job, whereas with us I feel like it doesn't feel like that, because we're just so like laid back, and it's not like
we're appreciative
more of a family than a job.
Exactly.
100%.
I feel like if you ask any of the actors, or OG actors, or even from last year, like what does it feel like, I feel like one of their first words will be family, like a big friend group. Like that's just what we try to create for.
I mean, we say it on socials all the time, like about like Scare family and like the KSG family, but like it actually, we're not just saying that for clout, it's actually a thing. Like it's such a close-knit community now. Like one of our favorite things I know is when the events ended and we like catch up with people and they've all met up with each other and they're still like messaging in all the group chats.
Like go on Instagram, I'll look at one of the actors from last year's stories, and they've all gone to London with each other, or they've spent New Year's together, or they've done this together. It's just really, really cool to see.
That is nice. You're creating friendships, creating memories. That's our favorite thing to do, is creating memories. Like we don't spend money on fancy cars or big TVs. We spend our money on making memories days out, and like you say, if you can do that with like-minded people, that's just for us, that's the best thing in life, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we allow our actors to get involved and help out if they want to. You know,
Yeah.
we're there from when the sun rises to when we get told
Way
that we
past
should
when
come
it's
home
set,
at like
yeah.
3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
But we allow our actors
We
to
have
come and
people
paint
that,
and
that contact us saying like, "Are you at the farm today? Like, I've got some time. I'd love to come down and help."
yeah.
Like, we don't say you have to come and help. You have to come and do this, or like we don't even ask a lot of the time. We just say, "Oh, just let you know, we're going to be, you know, painting today. If anyone wants to come and lend a hand." And the people that come every single day, just paint a couple of walls, have a laugh, have a cup of coffee, and then they
Mum makes some lunch.
Yeah, we have some lunch. Like, it's just so like calm, and I love the whole experience from the start with the construction, because it feels such a family every time. Like, it just grows and grows and grows every year.
On our welcome call last night, we mentioned that we were going on the farm today for the first time, and people were like, "Can we come and do stuff?" And we were like, "Guys, if you want to come and help us put a wall up, then please come and help."
That was this massive marquee up. Honestly,
be my guest.
Save me the trouble.
Perfect. I'm glad it's a nice family sort of atmosphere. You get the best out of your actors then as well, because they're
I feel
not
like
just a paycheck, it's a passion as well, you know.
Exactly, yeah. It's definitely more enjoyable for them.
Some of them even wiggle their way into hosting a podcast. I don't even like.
Well,
1 minute you're a scare actor, the next minute
we have our actors' families get involved too.
Yeah.
Quite often we'll have like a couple of like their children come and audition, and then their parents will be like, "Oh, I'll help with front of house."
Wow, that's so cool.
Or they'll just be like, "Oh, actually, I think I could make someone jump," and then they're just in it, and you're like, "What happened?" That's crazy, cool, go for it. But it's a really cool experience.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it makes me smile.
That's why we do it. That's the best thing in it. Yeah,
100%. Do
you want sadistic when you think about it? We smile at other people crying and being scared, and
it's so funny. I love it. It's so funny.
Whenever these two scare me in like life, they're always like, "Well, you know what you signed up for." When you met us, you know what you signed up for. I'm like, "Yeah, guys, like for work, not for life." And they're like, "It is life."
Exactly, right? Exactly. Not in the house. Not in the house.
Literally.
That's funny, because when we were having a little break a minute ago, there's a horn just behind the camera ready for a bit later on, and I just made them jump with it. I've got footage of that.
Oh god.
But yeah, just as James says, we have got this wheel over here.
Oh yeah.
Wheel of Wonders.
Wheel of Wonders.
We did this in our last podcast, but I know you can't read it, but I'll let you know again what's on it. So we've got a lot of prizes on here that the viewers can win, and obviously you guys can have as well. So we've got some free tickets available. We've got a free shot, a free drink. We've got a 10% discount code, which is what was on last week.
We've got nothing.
You could win nothing. So there's not red wine on here, unfortunately, or a nice night in with a clown. So
that falls under nothing.
That's just a regular night.
Yeah.
We've also got my favorite one on this one is this purple one, which just says Pie Molly. So Molly's agreed to, at the event, allow, I think it was 10 people.
Yeah.
10 people to pie in the face. So they get.
Can we like? I know we're recording this, but can we like pretend like if it doesn't land on that, just cut that out, do it again, land on it, cut it out,
do it for all of eternity until it lands on.
Oh!
So we have a definite 2 pies happening at the event.
Yay!
There we go.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Anytime.
If you
were
just
besties.
give me a 3, 2, 1, and I will spin the wheel for you.
Okay. Go.
3, 2, 1. Wheel.
That was a really big spin.
That was a real big spin.
Oh,
a spoiler!
Spoiler! I know.
Oh, a spoiler! Yes.
Okay, so a spoiler for the event. So, if you follow our Instagram, you'll see that we have got 4 mazes. We have got Renegade, Screamworks, Scare B&B, and Fortitude. We also have Snyder's The Experience. Now, Snyder's The Experience is not a walkthrough maze. That is the spoiler for today. I'm not going to reveal too much about it, but it is not a walkthrough maze. There is no walking going on in this experience.
Well, now I will not get any sleep tonight. Be thinking of that. Oh, okay. There we
That
go.
is our spoiler for today. I don't know
Exclusive.
if that intrigued you and you want more, but that's all you're getting. So.
Oh, I'm so glad we got that.
No, I was excited.
What a great thing to land on.
I
for this
didn't know I was
podcast.
even on there.
So did
Right,
I,
that's great.
yeah, that's great.
Wow.
So just before we wrap up, where can our viewers find you? Where should they go?
So I won't give you my address, but
Sort code, account number.
pin. You can find everything via our website. So our website is the key thing, www.scaretrack.co.uk. On there we have our podcast, and of course you can get the podcast on near enough any podcast platform: Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, everywhere. Our Scarecam episodes are on our YouTube channel, so just search for ScareTrack on YouTube, one word. We also have different types of episodes on there as well. So although we mainly have our Scarecam vlogs, we also have our Coaster Track vlogs on there from theme parks. Hannah has her beer break episodes where she checks out food and drink and more drink and more drink at scare events and theme parks. So that's all on our YouTube, and then social media wise, we're literally at ScareTrack. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So yeah, give us a follow and join us for the fun. Really, we love interacting with people. If people know the podcast and they see us at an event, we don't bite, not unless you ask us to, and we just love meeting people who have the same passion as us. So if you're out and about this Halloween season, and you see a weirdo wearing headphones, it's me. And just say hi. We love sharing our stories, sharing scares, and yeah, it's all good fun.
Awesome.
Love that.
I think we can vouch that you guys are super duper friendly and definitely a little bit approachable. So yeah, that's good.
Appreciate it. Take that. I'm writing that on a TripAdvisor review.
Yeah, do it. Oh.
Put it on the banner. Molly says
we're approachable.
Yeah. My testimonial is only one, and it's from Molly.
Oh, awesome. I mean, guys, thank you so much. This has been super duper fun. I've had the best time.
I've also
It's
had
been a blast.
big time.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I guess all that was left for us to say is thank you so much for doing this with us. We've had the best time. And from us now, I guess you guys have talked about your social media. Maybe it's time for us to have a little shameless plug and
Shameless
plug. Make sure you are following Kent Scareground on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I nearly forgot about that one.
BBM,
geriatric. Bebo, MySpace,
MSN. What's your ASL, guys? What's your ASL?
Bring it back old school.
We'll
carry a pigeon.
We are also obviously on YouTube as well, which you will be watching this on YouTube right now. Ooh.
Unless you're not,
which
would be weird.
It'd be crazy if you're not. Some sort of bootleg.
You say TikTok?
I think I did. I nearly didn't because I'm old, but I did remember the TikTok thing.
Yeah, I forgot about TikTok.
Also, tickets are obviously on sale for us, so please make sure you do get your tickets as soon as you can, because if you don't buy them and they will sell out, then you're going to be sad. So that's it, really, isn't it? I guess.
And also, we have got our tickets for Pumpkin
Palooza,
Palooza, which is our daytime event for all the little uns out there. So I don't know if you know any kids. I guess I'll let them know.
If you have any.
Have kids, that's better.
Not any. Not if you know them. Excuse me.
You know some kids
to come across any. Let them know.
Just thought I'd let you guys know there's a Pumpkin Palooza in Kent. All right, stranger in Morrison.
Okay. In the supermarket.
Mummy, what does Palooza mean?
Where's Kent?
Where's Kent? I guess that's it, really, isn't it?
Follow us, follow them, buy your tickets, watch the next podcast. That's it.
That's it. We did great. Wicked. I'm going to see you for the next
Go
one.
Team.
Goodbye.
Go team.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.